What is going on, Rivian fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So Rivian continues to surprise investors. I want to go over some of the data points, what just came out today and as well yesterday, and why people should care. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So currently it is up 6.23%. There is going to be a lot of volatility for the rest of the day. The Feds, it looks like they did raise that 25 basis points as anticipated, but Powell is talking in 13 minutes, and we all know what might come from that. So either extreme optimism, hawkishness, so there's going to be a lot of volatility. But beside the point though, there was a lot of good news that's been coming out. More specifically this, so major automakers unite to build electric vehicle charging network they say will rival Tesla. And this looks like it's going to be by 2030. So they're going to be building roughly about 30,000 plugs in urban areas along travel corridors. This is going to be GM, Stellantis. And of course, if you kind of look back at the news that did come out, I think it is right here, June the 29th, on how a lot of these companies are joining the Tesla Alliance by 2025 is kind of interesting. I think this news that did come out today, it really goes to show and commits Rivian's opportunity to actually target and go after Tesla. There's a ton of EVs out there that have all boasted saying that we are the next Tesla, we're amazing, but you know what? Honestly, over the last 6 months, Rivian has really taken that to the extreme, and they are doing a ton of stuff to actually get there, to actually take down Tesla. And this in reality is definitely a move in the right direction. As well with this news that did come out yesterday, so Rivian introduces carbon neutral subscription service for electric trucks. So of course, I think this is a fairly good thing. Haven't really read too much in this as far as what this entails, but I do feel that this is fairly good and might result in some additional money, who knows, from the government kickbacks or incentives going to Rivian as a result of this. So I think this is a fairly good thing in my own opinion. But what is the data points all saying? I'll go over some of that. So right now the options, there's $37 million in calls being purchased versus 11 million in puts. Based on all of the options combined so far today, it's 78% bullish. So very good in that regard. And of course their earnings is right around the corner. So you can kind of see that right here, quickly popping over. So it looks like August the 8th after hours, that is when Rivian's earnings are going to be. And of course there hasn't been really any updates for analyst ratings, as you can see right here. So the last being 8 days ago by Mizuho, $30 target buy rating, and they do have a 64% success rating, and no real updates as far as any analyst estimates. So I'll give you guys constant updates whenever I see some changes. On a side note, if you do like a lot of this compiled information such as analyst forecast ratings, take a look at Interactive Brokers. It's free to have all of this information, so you might as well sign up. But when it comes down to options activity, looking right here, that's where I kind of had a little bit more of a tangent, but this shows all the calls as expiry date, strike prices, everything that you need to know. It is anticipated to go roughly $30 plus by the end of their earnings. So you never know. There is a lot of optimism that could really get it there as well. Big money is very much getting into Rivian. So this is impressive to see the level of buying that's been happening. And keep in mind, this is just on the dark pool. So a lot of people don't really like the dark pool because it is very much linked to shorting, but I'll give you guys a quick overview of that in a second as far as shorting. As far as looking here, so these are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market over $100,000. So similar kind of nature, a lot of transactions similar to what the norm is, so nothing really abnormal there. There is one big one, so the 3.68 million, and that was a very good buy because you can tell the bid, the ask, and this was over the ask. So definitely fairly good in that regard. But when it comes down to it, I'll give you guys a quick overview of shorts. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of activity on the dark pool, not necessarily assuming or meaning that shorts are increasing. It's just a lot of activity. So right now the short score is 63, utilization is 34.07%. And looking right here, so the short interest is 13.9%. So over the last several days, it actually has gone down quite a lot, and that is a percentage of the free float. 85.27 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow did have this very abnormal big spike. So of course that could be something that might result in, who knows, something down the line eventually, but still 5.29% of the average isn't that high. Right now, shorts are actually increasing 127.13 thousand shares, but who knows exactly how this day will turn out with Powell. Like I said, he usually does bring a lot of volatility. So let me know you guys' thoughts, for instance, on a side note about their upcoming earnings. Do you think it is optimistic, or do you think it's going to be good, similar to what happened in their Q1 earnings, or do you think it's going to be a little bit more on the negative side? When it comes down to this, looking at the momentum indicator, shows number of retail investors are surprisingly getting in. So both at the same time, institutions and retail are starting to get back into Rivian. Looking at stochastic, it is at 82, no defined trend. So in reality, it's kind of considered overbought a little bit. So it might need to pull back at least in the short term, but I've been saying that for a while, and it just continues to surprise people constantly. It just keeps coming out with amazing news. And like I said, this news should not be undervalued by anyone, because this is definitely goes to show and does prove that they are coming for Tesla. They are coming for number one. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys always do your own due diligence. But as far as what is coming next, so with it being at $26.71, so it has pulled down a little bit while I've been chatting, because like I mentioned, Powell, he hasn't spoken yet, so it looks like another 4 minutes left, so still a lot of volatility. But with it being at 26.71, it is exactly on this R1, so it's kind of flirting with that very strong support. We'll see, but still right now $25.22 and 26.71 are the next big support ranges. 27.64, which it kind of did bounce off of as well today, is that next big resistance. So it is just merely following the technicals, but like I said, if you take a step back and you are investing long term, not worrying so much about the short term kind of stuff, this type of news is absolutely epic. It once again shows that Rivian is going to be a very big force to be reckoned with, and not a lot of EVs can actually say that. So let me know you guys' thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. I've been really pushing this because it is a complete no-brainer, because if you sign up for a free account with Moomoo, which does also offer $0 commission and free level 2 trading, if you throw $100 at the account, you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, and you also get a $50 cash reward. So this is, like I said, a complete no-brainer. Take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Rivian.